So I have watched the Supergirl movie in theaters. I had my tickets pre-ordered. I wanted to see this movie as soon as possible, unblemished. I didn't watch the trailer. I tried to avoid any possible spoilers I could. I wanted to go into this like a blank canvas so I could have no biased views. That being said, it was really hard to avoid seeing people criticizing it before the movie even came out. And I saw two types of people hating on it. And I am sure that there were legit criticisms prior to this movie that they saw from the trailer. I don't know. But the loudest ones were the people who were the Snyder Bros who have been hating on the new stuff since day one. And then the other half were the ones that, well, they just seem to hate on anything where a woman leads. So, yeah. Now, I've been a big Supergirl fan for like years upon years. But I have fallen out of love of superhero movies because the old DCU and the MCU gave me huge superhero fatigue. Hold on, my cats are fighting. I swear to God, the only people that fight more than these comic book fans are these two cats in my house. Stop it. Anybody want this cat? You want Loki? You can have him. You want him? Don't try to get out of this. All right. Hopefully we're going to be interruption free. It's fine. I'd redo this video, but I just do not have the time. I got to finish this review, and then I got to go work on another review. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, so yeah. So I saw the movie, spoiler free, didn't watch the trailer, blah, blah, blah. And I knew there was a chance I'd probably like it as long as they stuck with what they were doing in the last Superman movie, because that movie ignited the joy that I once had in superheroes. I loved the last Superman movie. I had to put Loki in timeout. He's in timeout now. Anyways, I loved it. I thought that it was really good. It had some stuff it definitely needs to work on, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't a chore to get through, and I was very excited to see where this was going to go. And it's not that I am a diehard James Gunn fan, because I am not. I don't like a lot of his things, actually. Believe it or not. Not a huge fan of him. But I just liked what he did with Superman, okay? That being said, Supergirl was not as good as the Superman movie. And it wasn't the actress who played Supergirl's fault. She was super enjoyable. In fact, the writing itself wasn't super bad. Like, this was not a bad movie. It's just, it's not as good, in my opinion, as a super, it didn't really seem as much like a superhero movie. I felt like for most of the movie, I was watching a Star Wars or a Star Trek movie. I don't know. It's probably because it was in space. That being said, the alien designs, top tier. I love what they did with that. I love how the different interactions. I love the world building that they did for this movie. Yeah, this is not a bad movie. It was a very good space movie with hints of superhero in it. I felt like it was more of like a introduction to Supergirl as she is. And for that purpose, it does its job. I definitely plan on buying it in Blu-ray. I think it will be an enjoyable rewatch. I did miss part of the movie because during the movie at one point where it was lagging a little bit, I suddenly thought, God, I want some M&Ms. So I left the movie to get some M&Ms, and then I came back. I did not do that during the Superman movie. I sat there from start to finish. But it was worth going and it was worth seeing in theaters. It looks amazing on the big screen. I almost wished I would have forked over a few extra bucks and watched on the ultra screen. Like, I think it would have been an amazing experience. And I might do that when the new Superman movie comes out, whenever that is, just because I feel like I'm missing out on something personally. So let's talk about it a little bit more about the movie. First of all, the soundtrack, top tier soundtrack. That is one thing I feel like the Supergirl soundtrack improved upon. The soundtrack, amazing, setting the scene. Special effects, I feel like were really good. When it started really battling, like the battles started happening, I loved the battle scenes. Some people made fun of the battles in Superman. I can get sort of where they're coming from, but I don't think that the superhero should be all powerful, especially when it's in their earlier years. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't expect them to be super strong. But it's just the way that one final battle goes in Supergirl, it was just mesmerizing to watch, especially with the soundtrack. The soundtrack, I think, was the nice finishing touch. The acting, amazing. That little girl, though, I don't know if it was me or what, but there were times when that girl would speak, and I don't know what she's saying. It might just be me. I don't know. Little girl, she was okay. I don't think I blame her. I think that maybe the Brighton could have been a little bit better for her. But I get it. Like, that was part of the joke, maybe. She was just afraid of, oh, I've got to avenge my family and blah, blah. And that was, like, her plot point and her tie-in with Supergirl. I'm not going to spoil it, you know what I mean? But, like, yeah, it was a bit much at times. And I did not dig her, okay? I'm sorry. Less Krypto than I would have liked, but I get why. I get why Krypto wasn't as prevalent. One thing that I thought was really good story-wise for this movie is it's helped set up and build a little bit the relationship between Supergirl and Superman as cousins. They did change a few things from the comics. But maybe there are comic versions where this is true, because I know in the last movie I could tell some of the stuff that they were doing was definitely taken from different comics and stuff, and I could recall, like, that's from that thing, whatever. But and I don't mind some of the changes and everything because it was still a good story. But I did find it interesting that in this one they had Supergirl be born after, Clark Kent left. Because in the versions I've read and in the cartoons I've watched, she was born first, and she was originally sent to take care of him when he arrived on Earth, but was in a stasis and didn't age. And so she became younger, technically, even though technically she's supposed to be older. And that was that gave her like a complex, but in this one it's different. And that was a choice, but I didn't really hate it. It worked for what they were doing here. And I would really like to see in future movies the relationship between the two cousins grow more, personally. I'd like to see more of what they do with that. So we'll have to see. I think that, this movie definitely had a few bumps. It was, like I said, a still enjoyable ride, a good popcorn flick, and not worth the hate that it's getting. Definitely just ignore the hate. Just go watch it. Make your own decision. If you end up still not liking it, cool. It's serviceable. It's there to build world, basically. It's helping build the overarching story. It's a good in-between movie between Superman, the first one, and then the next one, in my opinion. But we'll have to see where it goes from here. So I guess I give it 4 to 5 planes.